cousin's kids didn't like me. Like, they would always stare at me like this. It's like, a girl can only take so much. A girl could, the only time they were nice to me was when I was drowning in a swimming pool, and they helped me get out of that drowning pool. For all I knew, I thought they were gonna leave me there, but I guess they cared. I guess they cared. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if this is your first time. Today we're gonna be doing a little autobiography. Not an autobiography, is that like for reading or books? Well, I'm gonna do a little get to know me kind of story, just to show you my background and just the prosperity, maybe that's the word, the life that I had to where I am to why I am the way I am today. I really don't know, but we're gonna get into it, okay? We're gonna start off on the day I was born, or before I was born. So basically, my father happened to be 22, and my mom, was 16 years old. Already a dun 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 kind of view.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop.
It's just like, okay, weird, but whatever. So basically, my father, was a professional marathon runner. He was just like running places, place to place, and he ended up like also being in Ethiopia. Like, that's where his origin is from. He's Ethiopian, and my whole family's Ethiopian. I'm Ethiopian. Anyways, not the story. The story is yeah, so sorry, y'all. My dad needed a place to stay for the meantime, so he rented a room in my mom's house, and my mom's dad's house. And of course, mom was staying with them because she's, again, 16 or 15, whatever how old she was. She was a teenager. Let's just put that out there. And my dad's like, whoa, she's beautiful. To this day, y'all, he calls my mom more beautiful than me. He's like, you know, your mom was way more beautiful than you. And I'm like, I'm sorry I had your genes. I got your genes too. So, sorry about that. Take that up to God. Take that up to your genes. Anyways, but sorry I sidetrack a lot. I do, again, in my previous video I said I have ADD. I do have ADD. Let me reiterate that I have ADD. I write down notes and everything in my book that's broken, basically, and so I have that, but sorry about the sidetrack and everything. But just a little PSA. So he was like, oh, she's cute. And then I was conceived, and he went to her room. So TMI, but sorry, that's how it started. Since I was, out of wedlock, I was born out of wedlock. My grandparents were livid. They were like, first of all, you don't have money like that to take care of a child, let alone like marry my daughter. So they were like, so he asked my mom's parents for her hand in marriage, and they were like, hell to the no. No, no, no.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
He asked again. Again, no. He asked the third time. They said, no. He wasn't allowed to be there when I was born, like none of that above. And so my uncles happened to let him know, like, hey, she's a girl, your daughter was born. So that's how he found out. By the time I was like 4, he moved to Houston, Texas in America for marathon running. And he was like, ooh, I want to stay here. I like it here. So he went through the visa and everything and stayed in America. He did have a stepmom here. He had some family here, so I was like, why not? After that, I, grew up with my grandparents, and I had the best time. I went to school. I was doing great. I was spoiled, and I was disciplined, and it was just great life. Like, yes, my country, Ethiopia, is third world country, but like, I still lived really good, and I did not live in a mud house. I lived in a roof. I had a roof over my head with toilets and everything like that, because I know people stereotype. But yeah, so I just want to read you all a little bit of my notes of like what happened to me. So let me read that to y'all. Starting with the crack in the glass. I got taken away from my comfort. Home, Ethiopia. Living with my grandma and grandpa, living happily. Although I was missing my biological father and mother in the picture. The phone call. I want my daughter with me in America. That was the phone call that changed it all for me. America is the promised land for third world countries, like I said. I left at 6, leaving behind the people that loved me most. Wholeheartedly, like loved me. And America was not greener. My so-called father abandoned me when I arrived to Houston, Texas. I felt scared with no knowledge of English. I always use the analogy of someone getting a car, right? A nice car as a gift, but does not know how to drive. What are you gonna do? So to describe my father, Teddy, that's what I describe him as. He dropped me off at a random family's house. Now, let's get to the second sequence of like how that happened. You may ask, huh? What do you mean by that? What do you mean he dropped you off at a random family's house? Well, I was 6 again, right? I came into the United States at 6 or 5, whatever. And I was living with his like babysitters, and he was just dropping me off at like his cousin's place or like some place. And I was just there, and I was always the oldest. They had babies in the house, and it was just like was not a good environment for me. And also his cousin's kids didn't like me. Like, they would always stare at me like this. It's like, a girl can only take so much. The only time they were nice to me was when I was drowning in a swimming pool, and they helped me get out of that drowning pool. For all I knew, I thought they were gonna leave me there, but I guess they cared. I guess they cared. But so yeah, so basically I was 6, right? I needed to go to school. In America, it's like, I was going to school, okay, in Ethiopia, but it's like, hello, it's illegal. What is she doing not in school? And my, the family was like, my dad's friends were like, or my father's friends were like, hello, like, she needs to go to school, but my dad didn't know how to enroll me in school. He's like, huh, what do I do? Again, like, brain wasn't braining for him. So my dad's best friend. Oh yeah, let me backtrack. I'm so sorry, y'all. My dad, I wasn't able to live with my dad because he had 4 roommates in an apartment that were all guys. So what is a 6-year-old gonna do in there? There's no mother figure, there's no women. So it was just like, that was dangerous enough for me. So I was at babysitter's house every day. So my father's friend went to like work, and where he works there was another Habesha, we call each other Habeshas, which that's Ethiopian, Habesha lady that was working with him, that had was working with him, and he was like, hey, do you know how to enroll someone into school, a kid into school? She's like, oh, you have a child? No, it's my best friend's kid, we don't know how to enroll her. And I was like, and he was like, so yeah, excuse me, and she's like, oh yeah, bring her over. My husband knows, we've had 5 kids, you know, and I have a daughter now that's about the same age as his kids, so yeah, bring her over. We already have the other 4 is in college now, we know what to do, so yeah, bring her over to our house and we will be glad to help, right? Glad to help, not actually like drop you off. So yes. So my father, so they called my father, and he happened to be in Ethiopia. He went back to the country, and we're like, what? It was for a whole other woman, a whole other lady. And when my family was like, oh, you can marry my daughter now, which is my mom, because he was in America and they can have a family there, he said no because of he has a girlfriend. That was his one mistake. So he went back home for his girlfriend. I don't know what he was doing or anything, maybe like finalizing marriages and stuff, I don't know. But they were like, she needs to be enrolled in school and you need to be down here. We can't just give her to a stranger and rely on them to enroll, like you need to help with it too. So he's like, oh, whatever, like they could do it, I don't mind, I'm giving permission. They're like, no, you need to be down here. So he got down there, back home, and back to America, and I had my little suitcase, like not having any idea, and he rang their doorbell, and he said, thank you, here you go. Oh, we have a child now? Wait. So mommy is what I call her now. She's like, can I get her family's number, like her mom, her grand, like some people's number? He gave them the number and everything, and he said thank you. Left me, abandoned me. And that was the best thing ever, because to this day they're my family. I love them so much. I call them mommy and daddy. Their kids are my siblings, like amazing. I would love them to death, and I always visit them when I go to Seattle. That's the family that were in my previous videos in Seattle, because they moved back in 2016. So that's that question you asked, how is that possible? He dropped me off like I was a delivery package. This is what I wrote. To their surprise, they got a 6-year-old child they never asked for. I now call them mommy and daddy, like I said. So they had enrolled me into Garden Oaks. Oh, they had enrolled me into an elementary school where their daughter was going. I was blessed to have been at the front door of the most caring, loving people that I could have met. After a year of school, to not be in trouble with the law, they found a permanent placing for me called Boys and Girls Country. In the span of a year, my culture, family, and my comfort were stripped away from me. So now I was in a group home. And that's where I'm going to end this story time because that's a whole other section of me being in the group home. But just know, now I'm in college, doing life, and yeah, so that's just a part of my story, the beginning of it, just chapter 1. So maybe I'll do chapter 2. But just let me know in the comments if I should do chapter 2 of being in group home. But I just wanted to show y'all that, share with y'all that story. A little side note, before I left America, I learned back in 2020, I think, that I kissed a boy that I had a crush on. He was our neighbor, and I was like, I'm going to America. You know, we thought it was dreamland. You think you get money, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm gonna bring you back a car, I'm gonna take you back to America with me, and I kissed him goodbye, and his mom took a picture of us. So I'll show you the picture down up here. It was such a funny thing. So like, to end in a light note, but thank y'all so much for watching, and hopefully y'all can subscribe and like the video to help me boost my content. But I do really appreciate it. I do appreciate that y'all stayed through the end, and yeah, bye.